Let's spend a minute talking about guitar picks. More specifically, let's spend a minute talking about how you can change your tone by changing your guitar pick. I know it sounds a little bit odd, but when we're talking about tone, people think about different effects that you can add into your signal chain, or different amplifiers, or the difference between tubes and solid state in your amps, or different pickups, or tone woods, and all that stuff. But I would like to proffer a suggestion that you change your guitar pick and see if that does something for you. So these are your typical guitar picks, your typical size for your guitar picks. They come in different materials, different thicknesses. So here's a thin, it's very, very bendy. We've got some mediums, we've got some heavies, so those are a lot harder. So this is plastic. We've got nylon, so your Dunlop nylon. These were the original nylon picks that came out. The Dunlops. These are sort of mediums. You've got Tortex, which is sort of almost like a rubberized plastic, so it's a little bit more grippy, a little bit more solid, lasts a little bit longer. Sometimes people break or rip thin picks or medium picks, so you can get these in all kinds of different thicknesses. I used to really like these red ones. The red Tortex were always my favorite ones, the .58 Gator grips. So really a big fan of those. And then you've got the hybrid picks that are made out of stuff like, this is actually made out of an LP record. So this is super, super hard, super heavy. But then, so you've got all those regular guitar picks, and that's great. But let's talk about these. These are jazz picks. So these are a smaller pick. So if you take that and you compare that to your regular pick size, you'll see that there's a huge difference. The jazz picks are much, much smaller. They have a much more sharpened edge to them. So they've got a lot more attack, and they're a lot heavier. So this is a 1 millimeter, and then most of the other ones that I have are 1.5. So these are Dunlop Dunlop Jazz 3 picks. I've been using these for a number of years now. These are absolutely my favorite picks. And they come in a couple of different materials. So you can get them in the plastic. You can get them in the Ultex, which is actually almost like a nylon type material. Definitely super, super heavy duty. I mean, like that's a 2 millimeter pick. And then they've got some signature picks as well. So this is the John Petrucci signature. So it has a polished edge to it. These are just stamped, so it's a little bit rougher on the edges. But these John Petrucci's are a little bit more polished. Then we have these Kirk Hammett ones that have like a notch cut out on them. They've got a raised signature on them, so they're very, very grippy. I haven't really used these yet. I just did try, bought some just to see what they look like. But the difference is in the way that you attack with these picks. So when I use these picks, you're holding on to most of the pick with your thumb and forefinger. And for me, there's just a little bit sticking out, and that part allows me to really look at my attack with more precision. So if I'm hitting the strings, I play lighter. I play very light usually, so I play with a lighter gauge string. If you play really heavy, a heavier gauge string is better because it'll stay in tune and it won't, go flat or sharp. Sharp, more likely the case when you're hitting the strings real hard. So if you play with a light hand, these are a great pick, and they're also great for playing, with a lot of attack and a lot of force on the strings, because they just hold up really, really well. But huge difference in terms of tone, because it changes the way you play. What you'll notice is if you play the same way, you can play through different guitars, different pickup configurations, different effects, different amplifiers, but your tone will, to a certain extent, stay the same, because it's your fingers that are making the same noise, and you're playing the same way. So if you take something that changes your technique, that changes the way that you hold your pick, the way that you attack the strings, the way that you make the noise, then it stands to reason that you're going to change your tone. So give those a try. See what you think of these Dunlop Jazz Sighs. There are other manufacturers, I think, that make them in more of a thin teardrop. I like the Dunlops because they're a little bit fatter. So you'll find, picks that are thinner in terms of width, not as much to hold on to. But these are definitely a good size. And yeah, give them a try and see what you think. I mean, if people like Joe Bonamassa and John Petrucci and Kirk Hammett are using them, then they might be onto something. So there's your tip for the day. Or just keep using those same picks that you get anywhere and everywhere, little commemorative picks and good looking picks that don't hold up, that rip up and stuff like that. So use what you like, but give other stuff a try. Think outside the box a little bit.